Enhance your experience by becoming a supporting member. Gain access to unseen videos and video requests. 3-day free trial by visiting zionmembership.com.
Empaths, please, if someone, a narcissist involved in your life, has ghosted you, please don't look inwardly. It's a vital mistake. You need to realize it's nothing that you have done. It's nothing you have said. Even the last words exchanged, that they may have presented a problem to you, or a reason for their disappearance, or a reason for their ghosting, or a reason for their silent treatment. None of these reasons are valid, right? You have to understand what the true agenda behind a narcissist involved in your life doing this is, right? And the main reason is to make you feel abandoned, right? To feel abandoned, to feel hurt, to feel lost, right? And make you only see them in the world. This is what narcissists like to do. When they figure out that they can't control you to the efficiency that they would have liked to control you, or they figure out that you don't look at them the same way that they thought you did, you know, they seek a means of control. And one of these options that is very common that narcissists do this. That's why you don't need to feel alone with this. This is what narcissists do, right? Narcissists will do the disappearing act. They'll vanish. They'll cut you off. They'll give you silent treatment. They'll ghost. They'll do this to you so you damage yourself. It will affect your self-esteem. Please don't let this affect your self-esteem, making you think that there's something wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. Just think about this, right? You've got to understand that anyone who does this type of behavior, ghosting, disappearing, acting in this manner towards someone like yourself who done nothing wrong, right? It's uncalled for. It's bizarre. It's weird. It's narcissistic. They have problems within themselves. That's why they behave like this. Normal people don't do this type of behavior, right? And that's the thing. You might not have got so close to them at the time when you were involved in the relationship to have figured them out as a narcissist yet, right? But I'm telling you now, right? If someone that you was dating or in a relationship with done this to you, they are narcissistic. Narcissists do this, right? They are the ones that do the ghosting, the silent treatment, and this types of behavior, right? So what you have to extract is beauty from this situation, right? What I mean by extracting beauty from the situation is, I know you might be hurt and everything like that, but extract the beauty. Like, this person done a disappearing act of nothing, right? Please don't believe, I need to emphasize, please don't believe the reasons they've made it out like they've disappeared, because they often leave little remnants and plant seeds in your mind to make you think that they disappeared because of A, B, C, or D, right? You have to ignore and disregard those and cut them out of your mind like a lobotomy, right? They had an agenda, and the agenda is to destroy the chosen one and an empath, right? To make you dependent upon them, to make you feel like it's only them in the world, right? To make you fixated. It's only them, it's only them, it's only them, it's only them, right? To prevent you from, when you date in the future, to sabotage you, to give you abandonment issues, to hurt you, right? It's a very sinister, sadistic type of behavior that this narcissist has inflicted on your life, right? It's devastating, right? And, you know, you probably would have preferred, you know, even if they told you they didn't want to be with you, or they just told you to your face. They're not going to do that because they want you focused on them. They're not going to give you closure because they want you focused on them. It's an agenda. It is an agenda, people. Please understand, it is an agenda. If you want to stay informed on topics like these, subscribe to the channel. Remember, if you want to shed some light on a personal situation, book a one-to-one session. I do all countries and time zones. Links in the description box below. But you have to understand that the narcissist didn't ghost you because of something wrong with you. You really need to understand that. You need to understand that everything that you think in your mind about why it occurred, you're wrong, right? They didn't do it because you got angry. They didn't do it because you said this. They didn't do it because you done that, right? They got it into their minds, an agenda and an emotive to push you away, to disappear, to cut you off, to leave you fucked up, basically, right? They really wanted to destroy you, right? And they know this full well, right? They've done it to other people, right? They've done it to other people in their lives. This is their type of behavior, right? Now, on the topic of this, if you're dealing with a narcissist involved in your life, it's okay to disappear. It's okay to go no contact. It's okay to do those things, right? But you didn't deserve this type of treatment, but it's happened to you. You didn't deserve them to do this to you one bit, right? But they done it to you. You could have helped them. You could have supported them. You could have been there for them. You could have really helped them in their times of need. And they repaid you with nothing but abuse. This is a very abusive tactic that they've used, right? And you need to understand that this is not just like you may be scrolling through. There's so many things online that talk about ghosting and stuff, right? I think they're wrong, right? People don't hit the nail on the head, right? Because they're not looking at it from a narcissistic perspective, right? This is narcissists that do this type of behavior. This is narcissists that do this type of behavior, right? And you've dodged a bullet, right? They've revealed themselves. That's what they don't understand about them doing this. They've actually revealed their true nature by doing this, you see? So less is actually more. By them not saying nothing, by them disappearing, by them, cutting you off, this has actually benefited you, you see? This has actually benefited you, right? Because now you don't have someone that's just going to disappear on any given occasion, right? Some of you may have had children with them, right? And that's unfortunate. But really, it just shows what they are, right? Some of you haven't had children with them, right? But then say you did further down the line of had children or got more, started to share finances or got into a more complicated situation, right? This is what saved you. It spared you, right? You have to understand that narcissists do this type of behavior, right? They want to punish you. They want to leave you hurt. They want to leave you devastated. So please don't let it. Don't let it. You can't let it faze you. If someone walks out of your life, right, it's their loss. You need to know that, I've known that for a long time, I've known for a long time, if someone walks out of my life, it's their loss. Because I know what I can provide in someone's life. I know what I can do for someone's life, right? So I know that if someone walks out of my life, it's their loss. And I want you to adopt that same method and approach, right? If someone walks out of your life, you do a lot for people, right? You do a lot for people. You can help people. You can support people. You're there for people. You're empathetic. You're true. You're transparent. These people are not, right? Another reason that I should have probably said earlier on in the segment for those that have tuned out, they're constantly analyzing you, right? They're constantly analyzing you these narcissists that are involved in your life, right? Prior to you awakening, prior to you realizing they're a narcissist, they were constantly analyzing you. And you have to understand that they want to present themselves in a certain light, right? To you, right? And to whoever. They want to present themselves in a way that they choose to present themselves to you, right? And they could have sussed you out that their version that they're trying to present to you wasn't really sitting right. Now, as an empath that you are, when you might have felt like they were lying or there was a bit more to the story or something like this, but you would have let it pass. You would have let it go over your head because you're an empath. You're not going to start making accusations and accusing them. But they saw this shift in you, right? They saw this shift in you. So it could have been a light-hearted exchange of words, right? That you had about a specific topic or something. Could have been about their past. Could have been about something. And your conscience or your intuition was telling you, when you look back now, something was off for this person, right? But you may have ignored it because you're an empath and you don't like making accusations towards people, and you would have ignored it. But they're assessing you so much so that they can tell when something's not resonating with you. It's like empaths can't really hide it, because empaths are truth tellers. Empaths are so transparent. When something doesn't really register with them, or, it doesn't really, touch their heart and go deep to their heart, and it's not like they feel it's a bit phony, it's empaths will have a certain look on their face, and narcissists will pick up on this, right? Because they're good at assessing, they're good at analyzing, right? And they would have picked up on this. And this is honestly some of the reasons why you may have been ghosted, right? Because they figured out that they can't pull the wool over your eyes like they wanted to, right? You're not going to be that person in their life who's just going to believe all of their bullshit, right? And that's often why they get scared, and they'll try and move the goalpost by doing a ghosting or a disappearing act, right? To try and reset you, right? But it's like a punishment, remember, they're trying to punish you. This is a huge agenda by them, a huge agenda, well thought out. They really think it through, they think this stuff through, they want to inflict this on you, and it's just a joke, like, I find it funny, if someone disappears from my life, or someone has done who do these sorts of types of behavior, I find them a joke. I like, it doesn't faze me. Very quickly, what I realize from because I have, whether you call it God or the universe or something higher, angels or whatever, I kind of see it like, wow. Like, when someone disappears, I'm like, wow, Eureka, that person was knocking me off the path. And I see it like God has intervened, or the universe has intervened and actually moved this person away. They can have in their minds that they think they've done it. They can have in their minds that they think it was their decision making and all of that. They can have that. Let them have that. They can have that. But really, from a grand scheme of things, from a bird's eye view, this is your pathway getting cleansed. This is you getting on the straight path. They're not meant to be on the straight path with you. If you know you're on the straight path, right? If you know you're on the straight path, you're not perfect, but you're on the straight path, reasonably on the straight path, right? Then it shows when people are not walking with you down that path, and they disappear, or they walk out of your life, or they do these ghostings, or they do these disappearing acts, or they do these things. It shows that these people are just not going where you're going, realistically. It honestly shows that these people are not meant to be going where you're going. And that's what I understand very quickly, right? When someone exits my life, like, I've had family members that have, you know, tried to, you know, exit my life, right? I've had family members that tried to exit my life, and I don't put up no resistance, you know. I let them go, right? And other people that have tried to exit my life, you know, I don't put up no resistance, you know. I let them go. It's actually I've seen, right, how much of a blessing it actually is, right? And the thing that a lot of people don't realize is, because when I was young, I've spoke about this story before, because when I was young, right, when my mum died when I was 7, right, I didn't believe in God, I didn't believe in the universe, I didn't believe in nothing, I didn't know nothing, right? But it must have been a couple of years after that experience of my mum's death. I was riding my bike and I said to myself, I just got a eureka moment, like an epiphany. I still remember it. I was like, wow, I wouldn't be who I am had I not gone through that experience of the death, right? Now, I know that sounds very sadistic and, you know, dark, right? And obviously I'll go through processes when, I'm not glad that my mom died, but what I'm saying is I can extract the beauty from suffering, right? So when it comes to people in this world, right, that act phony, disappear, they're not straight up, they're not real, they're not transparent, they're not true, and they disappear, it makes me like, I actually don't care, I really don't care, I really don't care. I've seen how negativity can mold me. So a negative experience such as a death can mold me. So these people trying to do, some kind of death, that's basically what they're trying to inflict on you, ghosting, acting like they disappeared off the face of the earth, is actually trying to make you grieve something, So I don't fall into grief, I don't fall into grief and grieving a person, especially when they're alive, and they could have had the decency, like someone who doesn't have the decency to sit down with you and say, I don't want to be in this relationship because of A, B, and C, you'd be like, okay, fair enough, no problem, you'd be like, okay, cool, it wouldn't faze you, right? For someone not to have the decency to do that, it's a pure agenda and motive, it's easy for them. It's easy for them to say to you, oh, so-and-so, I don't want to be in a relationship with you no more, or I don't want to continue this relationship because of this reason or that reason or this reason. They could say anything, right? You might get momentarily hurt, but you'll get over it, But no, they want to actually mess up your life by disappearing, making you start grieving, right? Making you start self-sabotaging, making you start looking within, affecting your self-esteem, affecting all of that, right? Making you think that is something wrong with yourself, right? When it's not. It's actually not. And I've learned this, like I've learned this type of behavior throughout my life, right? I've seen people that come, that disappear. I've had friends, I've had people that disappear, right? That do these things. And I've learned, I know what it's about, right? It's literally to make you have a suffering, It's literally to make you have a suffering, Forget them. Forget them. It's literally to make you have pain and grief and look within and start blaming yourself and doing all of these things. You literally don't need to let it faze you. It's a joke. Anyone who does this is a joke. They didn't have the decency to talk to you. You've dodged a bullet, right? You've literally dodged a bullet, right? By this person revealing themselves. They revealed themselves as a narcissist through and through. They're 100% narcissist. You know they're narcissists now. Someone who does this type of behavior is a narcissist, right? And they've exposed themselves. You know, they hate being exposed. They actually expose themselves, right? You don't need to grieve. You don't need to look within and blame yourself for something you did or didn't do. Please don't listen to the things that they said during your last exchanges when they may have tried to blame you or plant seeds of doubt or whatever they tried to do, right? Honestly, you don't need to let it faze you, right? You honestly don't need to let it faze you. You don't need to let it hinder your future relationships, right? Honestly, the narcissist didn't ghost you because something is wrong with you. You need to make sure you have that firmly fixated in your mind. There is nothing wrong with you, chosen one. There is nothing wrong with you, empath. There is something seriously wrong with them, right? It's very easy for them to come up to you and speak to you, have a coffee, have a tea, and tell you to your face, right, that they don't want to continue the relationship. The reason they didn't do this is to leave you wounded, is to make you grieve like you're going through a death of a person, is to make you have them in your minds, is to make you be focused on them. It's a very, very manipulative agenda done by narcissists, and it's also so common. You know, I've spoken to victims of narcissistic abuse that have been through the same thing. I've spoken to victims of narcissistic abuse that have been through the silent treatment, the ghosting. It's all similar, one and the same. It's what they do, right? It's what they do, right? And you've honestly dodged a bullet. To be honest, what they don't understand is God didn't want them in your life, right? God didn't want them in your life. So yeah, they may have had the thought process of carrying out this behavior, you know, because they're devil inspired or negative energy inspired or evil forces inspired. They may have had the thought process just to carry out this behavior towards you. But realistically, it's actually come from God. It's come from the universe to part away the trash, to get rid of the bad, you know, the dead wood, to get rid of people that don't need to be in your path, people that had ulterior motives, people that had agendas, people that were not straight up, people that were not transparent, people that were not true. And remember, like I said, remember possibly there was something that they discussed of you and they realized that you wasn't going to be someone that just openly accepts all of their victim stories and their fake stories and stuff like that. And they saw that within you and realized that maybe you're not going to be one that just believes everything they say. And they might have seen that switch in your mind where you know you're seeing through them and your discernment is switched on, and that would have made them back away. And as a punishment, they may have wanted to try and inflict this ghosting on you as a punishment, right? So just understand, it's nothing you did wrong, right? Please make sure you know that and leave them to it, you know? Leave them to it. They want anyone that walks out of your life, it's their loss. They're not going to find another chosen one. They're not going to find another empath, right? They're not going to find you again, right? So they've wasted and lost their blessing. It's their loss. It's not yours. It's their loss. So anyway, thanks for listening today. Please press the like and the subscribe button. If you want to donate, you don't have to, but if you'd like to support the channel, you can. Links in the description box below. For more narcissism-based content, check out our other channel, links in the description box. Please visit the forums. One of them is Tips to Heal, and I'd love to find out what helps you on your journey. Please book a healing session with me if you need advice or some light shed on your situation. The Empath Monthly group meeting is coming up at the end of the month. Limited space is available. There's a WhatsApp group for survivors to stay in touch. I'm also doing email consultations if you need a plan of action. The links for all I've mentioned are in the description box below. If you'd like to know more about what Narcissist is telling new supply about you, click this video here. So anyway, I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.